Hello and welcome to the Watering Hole. Thanks for checking out this clip. Don't forget to like and subscribe because that'll make the baby Jesus cry, and I know how much you guys love making the baby Jesus cry. Hello and welcome to my channel. Vice Rhino here, Cirrus over there. We're so far away, Cirrus.
At least I would be over there, but I am barely viewable. Why is this my video card doing shit again?
You look fine on my end.
On your end, yes, but look, you had my stream up. Look over there for just a second.
God damn it. No, I closed your stream because I didn't want to have echoey bullshit going on.
You've got extra monitors, I assume?
Yeah, but it's on a different desktop and... Okay. Mute. You look like ass. I look like ass on your ass.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that at all.
Okay, everybody just come and watch it on my side.
Give me the views. Certainly an option you guys have. I'm gonna reboot Zoom real quick for just a quarter second, see if that fixes it.
Oh, you're gonna make me let you back into the room? Fucking hey, Cirrus.
Yep, that's...
God damn it. God damn it. Oh, now we got the infinite zoom of Zoom. Admit. Now you look like ass on my end.
There we go. Now things look better on my end.
You look like garbage on my end, though.
I do look like I'm at 480p on your end. I don't know.
You really do.
This is a small sampling of the shit that I'm dealing with the video card right now. Everything that uses the video card is struggling in some capacity.
Cirrus,
I don't know what's going on.
Cirrus, I'm just happy to have the tech issues be not me this time.
Yeah, I'm used to the tech issues not existing on my end, but here we are.
Yeah, sounds like a skill issue, motherfucker.
You know what? Settle it in a fucking card game or some shit. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know. I haven't touched the cards since we packed them up. Sir, for those of you unaware, Cirrus and I went to Godless Engineer's house for his birthday. And we met up with a bunch of fun people like Godless Granny and Richard Carrier.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was a fun time. And Cirrus decided to gift me a Magic the Gathering deck. And then I gambled on they had at the card shop. There was like you roll a D100, you pay $40 to roll a D100, and then you get the deck that corresponds to what you roll. So I gambled with that one, and I got one of the Doctor Who decks.
Which is exactly what he was going for. God damn it, Axo! Well, I mean, why the fuck?
I would have rather had one of the other one, like not. It was my second last Doctor Who pick.
But would you have rather the Dalek deck?
I don't know. I didn't see the Dalek deck. I know there's the 10th Doctor one from that era, like 9, 10, 11. There was the Classic Doctors, which is the one that I got. There was the 13th Doctor. And then I guess the other one was the Masters deck, wasn't it?
Yeah, Masters of Evil, which is the Dalek deck.
Yeah,
it has all the...
Okay, I didn't know that it was the Dalek deck. I thought it was the Master deck. So
so the way that they design Magic decks is there's always two like primary strategies in it. So for that one, it's the Master and also Davros. Like those are your two like main pilots for the deck. So it can either lean really hard into Daleks or it can lean really hard into whatever the fuck the Master's doing in that deck.
Okay. So yeah, Cirrus is trying to get me into that, and by trying I mean probably succeeding because I did. Oh, I'm not going to say that because it's Christmas present related stuff, and there is a child lounging about somewhere instead of being in bed where they belong.
Also, Axo, fucking shit, you with your goddamn 50,000 channel points, war words having motherfucking shit balls. Oh, whoa.
I heard
there.
The fridge water going.
Apparently
I'm just hearing things. Yeah, no, I was distracted. I have an editor now. I'm relying on them. They sent me an MP3 file for the last one. Oh, speaking of which, I got to show this off. God damn it. I've meant to set this up earlier, but you know, skill issue. I'm a pro. My editor is amazing.
Yeah.
This is. I'm not going to spoil what this is for. Get the hat in a second, but Control F.
Old Gus, thank you for doing your points for an woe as well.
So I'm not going to spoil what this is for, but this is something that my editor put together for me. Gay Unicorn Gary.
I saw that in the group chat.
Yes. Praise be Gay Unicorn Gary.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, Gay Unicorn Gary. Like, I just gave 2 instructions. It's just like, I want a picture of Gay Unicorn Gary. Like, that's the name. And Gay Unicorn Gary must be derpy. Because I feel like that's a derpy kind of unicorn.
Is he using a staging plug instead of a horn? That is a staging plug instead of a horn.
Piper did not explicitly tell me that, but I would not be surprised if that was the case.
Yeah, that's a sizing staging plug. That's meant for
no,
that's meant for making your butthole get progressively larger.
I know that Gay Unicorn Gary.
That way wieners can fit in it.
I know what it's for, Cirrus. God damn it. But they have told me that Gay Unicorn Gary is canonically trans, and he does have the mastectomy scars.
Okay.
So yeah, this is there is merch for this now.
That's great.
And that is confirmation. It is a staging thingamajig, staging plug. So there you go. There you go.
Like, that's a staging plug. Yes. Okay. Yep. I recognize that.
But yeah, so that's in my video this Friday, and there is merch because like I just did a thing to be stupid.
Unicorn Gary merch.
No, I just did a thing to be stupid, and then like Piper can confirm this. After they had edited the whole video, I messaged them being like, "Hey, I just thought that this thing that I just did kind of needs a cartoon character to go with it. Can you quickly design one for me?" And I gave very little in the way of instruction, and that's what I got, and I love it, and it's great. Thank you for resubscribing for 7 months, Duct Tape Jake. I owe you guys a hat. Somebody did that. New hat, because I went to the U.S. Space and Rocket Center in whatever the fuck, Alabama. Huntsville, that was the one.
We also had to basically force you to get a hat because you didn't want to get one at first.
Well, okay, so the thing is, I don't want all my hats to just be a ball cap, because that's boring, and I don't wear ball caps.
You don't want to be a ball cap guy?
No, I'm not a ball cap guy. So
it's like one of those Midwestern guys who always keeps a freaking tire gauge in his back pocket.
Yeah, but like, I have the fucking flower hat. I got a pirate hat. I got a wizard hat. I got the communist shapka. So like, it's like boring ball cap. I don't want that. So like, we actually looked into. They had like the little kids play astronaut helmets, but it barely fit on my head, and like the visor was like right on my nose and like digging up into it, and it definitely wouldn't fit with headphones. So it was a no. But that would have been my preference because that's a bit more silly and fun, and that's what I like in a hat. As Kalak says, everywhere in Alabama is wherever the fuck Alabama. Yeah. So yeah, I went to the Huntsville Rocket Center, saw the Saturn V. Spaceships. Spaceships are cool. Yumi and
Godless to crawl inside.
Yes, me, Cirrus, and Godless Engineer were cuddling inside an Apollo capsule. That was fun.
It was a fun experience. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, but I also have news.
Oh?
I have news. I need to be quiet, though, because this is stuff that we haven't told the kids yet.
Oh, is this the stuff I already know?
I think you already know it. Yeah, I did say it in the chat.
I won't spoil it.
So, as long as the home inspection is fine, we're moving. We got an offer in on our house. And everything looks fine. Everything looks good. So we're going to be moving away from our neighbors. I've got so many scenarios planned out in my head of things that I can do on my way out to just as a last little fuck you to them. And we're going to be in a house that actually will have enough room that all the kids can have their own bedroom. And I'll have my own office. And it's going to be amazing. And I love it. And it's just, it kind of sucks that we have to pack during the holidays, but whatever. Yeah. So that's great. Now,
I'm
now I have
very
to
happy
figure out
for
a
you.
design for a permanent studio, because like my shelf thing kind of worked out. Is like that was a built-in shelf that came with the house when we bought it. Moving to Alabama, fuck no. Um, so yeah, the shelf that I use as my backdrop was just kind of built in, and it was easier to use it than take it out. Um, and so now, since I'm converting a garage into an office, I can basically like start from scratch and do whatever the fuck I want, which means I have to figure out what the fuck I want.
Entirely fair, but at least you'll be away from your goddamn neighbor.
Yeah,
That's the big thing.
that's the big thing. Yeah, it really is.
Now you get to trade one bad neighbor for another potential bad neighbor.
So we've driven past a few times. They seem to. So we went to that neighborhood for Halloween, and the neighbors on one side of us are one of the houses that like goes all out, and they love having all the kids come and see them and stuff, and so they seem fun. So like, just like, you can't judge people just based on their Halloween decorations and how your kids interacted with them at Halloween, but like, there were no red flags. And on the other side, I don't know. I haven't seen anything that looks like a red flag. They don't maintain their property. Well, I mean, they don't like not maintain it, but like, they're not like super duper on top of that, which is actually fine with me. That means they're not going to like be judging us if we're not super duper on top of that.
Okay.
But yeah, so like, I don't know. There are no red flags really.
That's at least something. That's it. Naki Bree says, "What's up with Rhino's neighbor?" Oh, so Vice Rhino's neighbor is a dick and does a lot of dick things, like calling his own child a whore.
No, not his child, my child.
No, but not his own.
The way you said that made it sound like he's
child.
calling his own child that. No.
Sorry, that was a little too ambiguous. I meant to say that he's a fucking asshole.
Yeah. That's putting it mildly.
But yeah, that's what's going on there. That's what that issue is.
Yeah. So that's not the only reason we want to move, but it's definitely a contributing factor.
It would be a good reason for me to move.
It is, but like,
it's enough.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my exciting news. So I'm in a fairly good mood.
Well, I'm glad you're in a good mood. Would you be in an even better mood if we dragged you into a gas station that had a giant beaver mascot that wants to take pictures with you?
That place is so dumb. I don't, like, why do people like that place? He's talking about, what is it, Buc-ee's?
Buc-ee's, yeah. For y'all who may not know, we dragged Vice Rhino to Buc-ee's, which, if you've never been, it's
stupid.
It's like Trailer Park Disneyland.
No, it's not even that. No, it's just a fucking store.
Yep.
But it's got a guy in a mascot outfit and people making jerky that yell every now and then. Like, it's just it's just a big store, but people yell at you about their brisket.
Yep.
It doesn't make any sense.
Hello.
Olivia Williams is reminding everyone to like the video. Thank you, Olivia.
Like it or die.
I mean,
he says, I went to Buc-ee's once and I went down to Atlanta last year. It's just way too big gas station. Yeah, it is that.
It's stupid. I don't know. It's the kind of place that if I saw that, I'm Buc-ee's is the last gas station for 50 kilometers and my little speedometer thingy says that I've got 51 kilometers left till empty, I would risk it to avoid Buc-ee's.
That's fair.
But I mean, my partner got a pair of earrings there, so I guess she's happy.
Fair. Ravi says, I'll take Wawa over Buc-ee's. I will be honest. If I had a choice between having a Wawa right next to me and a Buc-ee's, right next to me, I would gladly take the Wawa. I adore Wawa.
How to tell Rhino is Canadian? Why? Because I don't like Buc-ee's?
You already have enough beaver.
Yeah, no, we got beaver themed stuff up here. I don't mind beaver themed stuff. That's not what bothers me about Buc-ee's. Okay.
It's his weakness.
What, Buc-ee's?
Yes. You're weak to Buc-ee's. It's super effective on you.
No, specifically stores with lots of people in them are my weakness. So like it's a gas station. It's got all like everything that's bad about a gas station is there, but it's also really popular, so there's lots of people there. So like it's a gas station but worse.
So it's a gas station but multiplied 10 billion fold.
And actually along those lines, so remember how a couple weeks ago I mentioned that like I'm pretty sure I'm autistic, but I'm not going to use the label because I haven't been officially diagnosed and I don't want to do the self-diagnosis thing.
Yeah.
So first off, some clarification on that. Somebody posted a comment about how like they saw me as like talking down on people that are self-diagnosing. I get it. It like diagnosis is not something that's feasible for everybody, and sometimes having a self-diagnosis can be helpful. Like if you know that this is a thing about you, then just knowing that can be helpful for you. I wasn't trying to shit on self-diagnosis as a concept, although there definitely are people that will like they're neurotypical people that will see an ADHD TikTok and be like, oh, I forget my keys sometimes.
Hashtag me for real.
I must have ADHD. Meanwhile, the people that actually have ADHD, when they don't forget their keys, that's because there is a cascade of like 15 different little accommodations that they've designed for themselves that actually worked that time, allowing them to get their keys. Whereas for a neurotypical person, it's like, no, that's where my keys are. Why would they not be there? And so it can kind of look the same, but internally it's different. Anyway, along the autism thing, I still no official diagnosis. However, one of my other kids has now officially been diagnosed. And while I was talking to the psychiatrist about the assessment afterwards, she just kind of casually dropped like, oh yeah, and you're definitely autistic too.
Ah!
And I was just like, okay. And then, yeah, so she can't, and she also told me like, yeah, I'm not going to I can't officially diagnose you because I specialize in pediatrics, so I can't diagnose adults. But yeah, you are. So again, like this is a gray area where I'm not sure if this counts as diagnosed or not. But like
it's less diagnosed and more like side-eyeing you go, we know.
Oh, and then after she said that, she then asked me like, what do you do for a living? And when I said YouTuber, she just kind of looked at me like, of course. It's like, okay. Duct tape Jake says, put the keys in the key bowl. Yeah, you're assuming that I remembered to take them out of my pocket to put them in the key bowl.
Yeah, this is my reminder. My keys aren't in my key ring like they're supposed to be. They're still on me. Crap.
This is actually one of the features of my car is that it'll unlock for me when I walk up to it. So I don't have to ever fiddle with the keys. And since it's a wireless key fob, I can, at least in the wintertime, just leave my keys in my coat pocket and I'm good. Doesn't work so well in the summer, but in the winter it works because they're just in my pocket and I forget about them.
It is a miracle that either of us can function.
Yeah.
You know that, right?
Yeah, I know. Tasha says embrace the gray and then or embrace the gay. I sometimes get the two confused. You guys have all joined me for both of those journeys. So why not? Okay. Yeah. Okay, time to take off this uncomfortable fucking hat because I'm not a hat person. I don't know why I did the hats because I'm not a hat person. I don't like hats.
I think that's why you did it. You knew it would be a thing you were averse to, so you knew that your audience would respond to it in kind.
Bait, motherfucker. Do you also get the heated seats because I have heated seats and they're so good? Yes, they are, especially in the winter. Unfortunately, weirdly, so I can start the car with my phone, like just get it, like have the climate running. Doesn't unlock it or anything. You can't drive away in it, but like it's like a remote start. For some reason, Like it lets me choose all the options. I can set the temperature. I can set like whether the defroster is going, whether the mirrors are going to be defrosting and everything. And like, okay, really nice. For whatever reason, I can turn on the heated steering wheel, cannot turn on the heated seat. You didn't think I'd want a warm bum when I come in to sit in my car? Like, you get into the car, the whole car is warm, but then you sit down and the seat's still cold. Like, what the fuck is that?
I never even considered a heated steering wheel.
It's so nice, but also so unnecessary. Except on my last van, which was a piece of shit. Whoever designed that fucking thing, they decided it would be a good idea to have a metal ring through the steering wheel right where you would put your hands. So in the summertime, that's fucking hot. And in the wintertime, it's fucking cold. There was a period of like 2 weeks in the spring and fall where it was comfortable. The rest of the time, it's just like, you gotta hold the steering wheel like this until it cools up or heats up or cools down. I don't know why, like, who decided putting metal in a fucking steering wheel was a good idea.
Dorito Dave in my YouTube chat says, I'm acoustic and I'm self-diagnosed with AC/DC, AD&D, and I suffer from HDTV.
You said ADHD or AC/DC, right? I don't know how well the microphone's picking that up. It's very quiet. Because, yeah. No. Okay.
I've seen people in my comment section get angry at the amount of times that joke gets made, especially on this show. And I'm just like, look, I get angry at the amount of times I get told I'm going to burn in hell for not worshiping your God the right way.
I'm currently responding to okay. So the guy I'm responding to now, he's a fairly small YouTuber. He's quite charismatic, and he's got like I don't know, I kind of like his style or whatever, but like the fact that he has to sanitize his humor to be Christian friendly just kind of strips it of its effectiveness. So like it all turns into like fart jokes and stuff that is just infantile. Mm-hmm. And like, yeah, I guess there's nothing really more mature about saying, come inside me, Lord Jesus. But I don't know, it feels less like you are actively dumbing it down. I don't know.
No, I can see where you're going, because there's no difference between a cum joke and a fart joke. It's just
not really, but
it's just how we perceive the two. But they are effectively the same thing. We're talking about something that extrudes from the body that we find unpleasant when other people do it sometimes.
So Mark is asking, do Gay Unicorn Gary and Lisa the Rainbow Giraffe, Leaf Be Upon Her, ever interact? Not that I'm aware of. However, I feel like this is the beginnings of my channel lore.
Because Gay Unicorn Gary is now going to have a Q&A about how he operates?
I don't know. But
he should.
Gotta talk to Piper about that one. Piper's the one that has the direct line. But
there was a direct line involved with the creation of Gay Unicorn Gary. I can guarantee you that. But it may not be the one you're thinking of.
That's how we got all those good movies of the 80s and 90s.
Everybody was on cocaine and just went, man, what if the cop was a robot? I need to get a ratcheting belt, because I just with the belt that I have normally and the pants that I have normally, I found that my 9mm is actually too heavy to carry around. It like pulls my pants down, and it's both not useful and also very uncomfortable. But the reason I found that out was the weekend after the Trump election, or that Trump won the election, I went out to the card shop to play like I normally do, but I brought my weapon with me that time, going, you know what? Just in case somebody decides to be nightmarishly stupid, I would rather be protected than not, because it's very public knowledge that I am dating a trans woman, and I am in the Georgia South.
Yeah, and this is...
maybe safe is better than not.
This is one of those situations where, like, ordinarily, I am very, very anti-gun. And I will say, like, in any situation, if there are no guns present, the absence of guns can prevent a an argument from escalating. And the presence of a gun will then, the person who has the gun says, well, this is starting to escalate, so I'm going to preemptively stop it with my gun. And so that causes it to escalate even further. So, like, ordinarily, that's kind of my thing, is that, like, having a gun, like, just the act of having the gun is enough to cause unnecessary escalation. However, I honestly, like, yeah, no, I can't really come up with a good argument for people in marginalized communities or people that are close to people that are in marginalized communities to carry a gun right now. Like, I'm the most anti-gun person you'll find. I can't do it. I'm not going to look you in your eyes and say, like, hey, living in Georgia where everybody's anti-trans and everybody else already has a gun, you shouldn't carry a gun to protect yourself and your girlfriend.
Yeah, like, that would just be an irresponsible thing. It's like, why, like, there's a bunch of areas here who have a lot of women on staff and have very, very strict rules on whether or not they're allowed to carry weapons with them. And I am usually the first person to throw a fucking bitch fit about, like, oh, are we just pro rape now? Is that what we're doing? And anytime somebody would get mad about that, I'm just like, no, hear me out. What is one of the most likely times for someone to be sexually assaulted? At night, when there's very few people outside and very few witnesses. The other most likely time is whenever they're near a particularly abusive or drunk family member, statistically. But outside of that, it is outside in a non-defensible area. So if you have somebody working closing at a restaurant in this area, what is most likely going to happen more often than not? They are going to be in this vulnerable place. Why would you not want them to have access to protection in a very admittedly vulnerable area? We have two options. We are either pro protection or we are pro rape. There's not a fucking middle ground here. Sorry.
Yeah. And, like, I'll be the first to tell you, the quantity of guns in the States is probably the biggest contributing factor to the problem with gun violence in the States. Having the minority communities that are already marginalized and in a position of like being subjugated almost, having them disarm themselves, that ain't gonna solve the problem.
Yep.
So yeah, no, I am very much anti-gun. I am not going to tell a trans person not to get a gun right now. I just can't justify that. So yeah.
What's the statement we usually tell for minority communities? Always armed, never harmed. It's not exactly true, but it is a truism of defense.
Yeah, no, my autism wanted to be like, no, that's not technically true. Cause
yeah, I know. That's why I stopped for. That's why I iterated.
I know what you mean, but I want to correct
it. Well, actually, there's a reason that my profile picture for Reddit is just a Suricified version of the "well, actually" meme. If there's any version of me that should exist on Reddit, it's that version. I feel.
Yeah.
I'm very mean when it comes to people who would threaten Saki's life. I'm sorry.
I am not going to say that you shouldn't be. Like, yeah,
that's entirely fair.
I feel defensive about people I love too. I'm not gonna, like, yeah. Although I also have a lot of experience with people using the washroom in inconvenient places.
What?
I have 5 children, Cirrus.
Oh, okay.
And my partner bore at least 2 of those children. And if you know anything about things that pregnancy does to women's bodies.
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh, yeah. And a dog. Yeah, the dog too. Yep. I forgot about the dog. I forgot about the dog named Puddles that everybody immediately was like, oh, is it because of pee? And it's not because of pee. That just happens to be apropos.
sometimes they earned their names after they've been given.
Well, so it was named by our 5-year-old. She was what, 3 when she named her?
No.
You named her? I thought Sky named her.
I convinced Sky to name her.
Okay, you convinced Sky to name her Puddles. Isn't her middle name like George or something?
George.
Yeah, so Puddles' middle name is George. Can't use the bathroom with moon rocks. You might shove them up a dark place. I mean, dildo made of moon rock sounds like a fun time.
Axo's just screaming in my chat as well. Do not shove rocks or crystals up your ass. How else could I align my chakras if not by shoving the crystals up my ass? You don't understand. I need to put the bismuth just about 3 inches deep.
Okay. Have I told you about the bismuth?
You have told me that you have bismuth.
Yeah, so I have bismuth. Have I told you about my partner who just a little bit on the wooey side? She has her healing crystals or whatever. She would never use crystals instead of going to a doctor. It's just more of a like, let's do it as well. Have I told you like when she found out what the active ingredient in Pepto-Bismol is?
Oh, was she just like, I told you so or
some
shit?
It's bismuth. So she's like, yeah, see, I told you crystals heal. Because there's literally crystals in this medicine.
Yeah, it's there's a difference between how it activates in your gut versus like rubbing it on your wiener.
Yeah, I know, and she knows, but she still lords it over me. And I let her because maybe I'm a sub. I don't know.
You're into that shit?
Put your boot on my neck, mommy. she just gave me the like grossed out look. Oh, it was about the mommy thing, not the boot thing. Put your boot on my neck.
One of these was a touch too far, but the other one.
Put your boot on my neck.
Good stuff.
Sexy lady? I'm bad at dirty talk, y'all. Mistress, there we go. Mistress, put the boot on my neck, mistress.
That
no, it's not doing it. Not doing it for her.
No.
Madam, ma'am.
No.
Stop,
Hold
Fennec,
on.
stop. You're not helping.
You're an atheist on the internet. Hold on. You have to use m'lady.
M'lady. Put the boot on my neck, m'lady. She just laughed. Queen. There we go. Queen.
Any boot anywhere.
Yep. She's not putting the boot anywhere, she just said. That's disappointing.
That's coward.
My heart is broken.
Not as much as your neck would have been.
Fennec, I can play this game all night. Sovereign?
Put your boot on my neck, Sovereign. I'm reminded of the conversation at GE's house about fucking kings and making you watch them shit and making shitting regal.
Yeah. It's the power move. Like it was the King Louis XIV. There was the royal toilet. If you were high enough up in the royal courts, you'd be invited to come and witness the royal toilet, which the word toilet just means getting ready for the day sort of thing or whatever in their thing. But it did include watching him use the toilet. Someone did a hat. Let's do the flower hat. So
defecation.
So yeah, it's a power move. Like, I am going to make you watch me shit, and you are going to be grateful that I allowed you to watch me shit. Rosina says Pepto-Bismol is the only intentionally radioactive OTC over-the-counter medicine after they crack down on radium. Is Pepto-Bismol radioactive?
I mean, bismuth is to a degree.
Monorail says no, it's not.
Fairly certain bismuth is radioactive.
I don't think it is. It's fairly inert. I looked into it before because I made the bismuth crystals by boiling them on melting the bismuth on my stove and letting it cool and occasionally agitating it with a fork or whatever to get weird patterns or whatever. And I looked into it beforehand. Yeah, you're supposed to wear gloves while you handle it, but it's basically inert.
Let's see here. Bismuth is mildly radioactive and emits an 8-MeV alpha particle.
Okay, but is it more or less radioactive than a banana?
Probably less.
Fennec says, Cirrus, my partner says if you want to join a hate club, play League of Legends.
Not again. Not again. I am no longer playing that game. There are very few things that could make me play that game again. That game makes me nightmarishly toxic. I have said some of the worst things I have ever uttered to a human being simply by being in that game.
And this is where I learned that Cirrus sometimes says the N-word.
Not to that degree.
I mean, that's the conclusion that you led me to with those words that you just said.
That's fair.
Bismuth's half-life is far longer than the age of the universe. So yes, radioactive, but not very.
Not to the degree that it matters. Pernay says, have you watched Arcane? I've seen season 1 of Arcane. It is a fucking fantastic show. I need to see season 2 now that it's out. Arcane is so goddamn good.
Apparently League of Legends has lesbians and yaoi.
Oh, it has a fuck ton of gay. It has a lot of gay. The big relationship in Arcane, which is the Netflix series about the League of Legends lore. Caitlyn and Vi, just very, very butch lesbian couple, are it is just hyper celebrated.
Okay.
Unless you're in China. I looked at the I saw the there's a scene where they're cuddling like after sex in the show, and in the Chinese version.
Wait, there's a League of Legends show?
Yes, it's called Arcane, and it is one of the most like critically acclaimed pieces of media.
Cirrus, if you getting me into magic has started the dominoes of me like actually understanding what the fuck you're talking about 80% of the time, I'm gonna be pissed off at you.
You're gonna be pissed?
I'm gonna be pissed.
Is it because you're going to miss having our dynamic of me explaining dumb pop culture shit?
I don't want to know this shit.
So, one of the big things with Arcane, because I'm assuming you've seen Into the Spider-Verse, right?
Nope.
Oh, okay. Well, that's sad.
I kind of want to.
It's a very good film.
It was released it was released at the wrong time for me. I had like superhero fatigue where it's like, everybody says it's good, but like it's a fucking superhero movie. I don't want to see a superhero movie.
It's very different than the usual superhero movies.
I'm aware of that.
I will say my biggest thing with that movie, both of them, and I'm waiting for the third one, is I am a fan of the process of filmmaking. I am a fan of animation. I am a fan of seeing like traditional and 3D animation blended together in interesting ways.
So I like filmmaking as well. That's why I can one of the ways that I enjoy, and not bad movies that are enjoyable, but like bad movies that are like just a slog. I will like stop paying attention to the movie and be like, okay, why did they decide to use the camera angle that they used? Why did they color grade it the way that they did? Why did they cut there instead of there? So like I'll start to like pick apart and analyze it that way. And like, yeah, sometimes they're just incompetent and they were making bad choices based on not knowing any better. But it still makes unpleasant movies at least tolerable.
Yeah, because it's the design process for it is interesting. That's
Twilight. That's how I got through Twilight.
So, Into the Spider-Verse is one of the best films showcasing a just masterful blend of not only 2D and 3D animation, but also how much frame rate can change a scene.
I am aware of that. I just have not seen it yet.
So, Arcane,
I'm sure I will enjoy it a lot.
Arcane is a series that learned every possible lesson it could from Into the Spider-Verse from a design process, and then made a masterclass out of it. Just from an animation standpoint, the only thing that it does not do to the same degree that the Into the Spider-Verse does is manipulate frame rates the way that Into the Spider-Verse does. But Spider-Verse manipulates frame rates because it's literally tied to the dimensions of the characters. Some people run at 12 FPS, some people run on 2, some people are animated on 4s, but you don't see a lot of that in Arcane. Everything else, though, every other lesson that could have been learned from the animation showcase of Spider-Verse is on full display in fucking Arcane.
Okay.
It also has a really good story. There's that too, but that's not the part that I'm gonna gush about as much. As much as I love the story, if you don't like League, you're not gonna give a shit about the story when you walk in. It's gonna have to make you like the story.
League.
You don't have a reason to. It will just make you angry.
Okay. Sounds about right.
League is a fantastic multiplayer game, and it is best in class for multiplayer online battle arena style games. It is also a breeding ground for every level of toxicity possibly imaginable by humankind and needs not be experienced by real breathing people.
Okay. So I don't know if you guys have heard, but Italy actually has a problem with declining population. The States is going to have this problem too if Donald Trump actually does what he says he's going to do regarding immigration. Because y'all need immigrants because the local women aren't having enough babies. I mean, I guess that's why they want to regulate women's bodies so that they can actually have enough babies without the immigrants. But that's a depressing tangent, so let's not think about that.
Yeah.
But I forget where I was going with that. Oh, yeah, no. So Italy is actually, because they have such a low birth rate, they're actually doing crazy shit. Like there's this beautiful, gorgeous, scenic Italian island where you can buy a house right now for €1. €1 because they're so desperate for people to move there that they're basically like, we'll give you this house for free if you come and move there. And I'm like, I can be a fucking YouTuber from Italy. As long as I got an internet connection, I can do whatever the fuck I want. Like that might make the timing of tweets a little bit weirder.
Not if we all moved to Italy.
My European audience would be super chuffed about that. Chuffed. I used a British word. There we go.
God damn it.
But the problem is we have stuff like, I don't know, kids that have to like see their dad occasionally, which their dad is an asshole, which would probably be better for them if they didn't see him. So if we just like absconded to Italy with all the kids, that would be great, but like that's illegal.
But like if we theoretically, if all of us just got houses in Italy in the same general area and then used it as an excuse to also collaborate on other types of projects,
It's a tax deduction.
That wouldn't be the worst strategy in the world, right?
It wouldn't. I would fucking love that. Because like the island that's selling them for €1, it's fucking gorgeous. Everything is just amazing. And it's like, I would love to go and live there. That would be fantastic. But like, I've got kids that have a dad that's not going to do that. Yeah, Fennec says, but you also have 5 children, a partner, and a dog. Yeah, no, it's 2 of the 5 children that is the main problem with that. The rest of them, it'd be fine. Well, I mean, I guess they want to see their grandmother. She doesn't travel much, but granddad would probably be okay with that.
Need to see here. A couple things real quick, if I can interject on a thing, because I'm reminded of this right now, thinking of like expenses and deductions and shit. So my video card is dying, everybody. I don't know why a 3080 is dying this early into its life. It's only been in my machine like 4 years, 5 years. I figured it would have lasted longer than that, but not 5 years. Definitely
he's technically got a better video card than I do. He's got the 3080 Ti. I've just got a 3080.
So I don't know why
I don't have
this
problems.
thing is shitting its bed, but it has been, and it's been making every single ounce of working painful for various reasons. People on stream actually got to watch a lot of that shitting the bed last night, where it happened live. It was fantastic. I had a great time.
It's always great to shit the bed live.
It is. Especially when you have like really bad imposter syndrome and you feel like you
Progress
have to
only. Same thing as me. Power malfunction. It's that fucking spike. It's that goddamn spike, man. You got to get a better power supply and it'll be fine. Get 1,000 watt.
Get 1,000 watt power supply and it should be fine.
I mean, this is all that's left of the entire bottle of wine, so take it with a grain of salt. But yes, I feel like I said that to you before I drank all this wine.
You did say it before you drank the wine.
So it's probably sound advice.
Fair enough. For the time being, though, I did list a 4080 Super up over on Throne on crowdfunding. If y'all want to help me grab that, then that is on Throne. If not, that is entirely fine. That is your money. Do not spend it if you do not have it or do not want to. Any of those things.
Alternatively, send him money directly and tell him he needs to just upgrade the power supply, because the graphics card is probably fine. Upgrade the power supply.
If
that's what Drunk Rhino says is the solution.
That is what Drunk Rhino says.
Vice Rhino. Yep, that's me.
So if that ends up being if that ends up being the case, then that would at least be cheaper. Let me see. Can I check what power supply I have just through system?
You said it was 850.
I believe it's 850.
Which should be okay, but that's like right in the range where the power spike issue might have been an issue. Did you say it was gold or platinum?
It should be a gold.
Okay. So that might be the issue.
I have never owned a platinum power supply.
I don't even fucking know how many watts mine is. I just know that it works.
All I know is to avoid silver and bronze power supplies because they can supply dirty power and make this issue happen all the time.
Do you have a UPS?
I have a UPS near me. Yeah.
Okay. Do you know if it's one that outputs a clean sine wave?
Oh, I thought you meant like the fucking mailing store.
No, fucking uninterruptible power supply.
Oh, no, I don't have that.
Cirrus. Yeah, okay. Well, get one of those. Maybe that might be your issue.
Not a UPS store.
That might be your issue, and that will let you continue your, at least end your stream gracefully should you lose power. It's like, if my power goes out, I have like 20 minutes left to stream.
I wouldn't be able to do that because then the router would fuck up, and I'm very far away from the router. I would need to get two of them.
Okay, Lord of Ezkalak is pointing out that nobody's following our conversation right now.
No, it does. Also, apparently, Ravi has just sent in 20% of the funding.
Oh, nice.
For the 4080 Super. So that means we're 44% of the way funded on that. That's the first good news.
The 50 series is coming out. Don't you want the 50 series where you'll have to upgrade your power supply to like a 2,000 watt piece of shit?
I don't. I've also seen that shit's like $1,600. Fuck that shit.
So, shout out again to the person in, I think it was British Columbia, that like they just work at like some mom and pop hardware shop that allowed me to get this 3080 that I have. Because I got this in the middle of the shortage. I don't remember who it was, but if you go back to, like, I have a joke video where I, like, installed it wrong, and then everything blew up. But, like, it was a viewer who allowed me to, like, actually order it, and they, like, gave priority to me. Because
I got very lucky with my 3080 Ti. A friend of mine picked it up for me as a Christmas present. And I was like,
I paid for mine. But what's funny though is I actually downgraded myself to a 3070 and put the 3080 out where I was playing virtual reality shit. But since we started trying to sell the house, it was like, you want it to be as empty as possible. So we're like, okay, well, we don't really play virtual reality that often, so we can take that PC away. I'm like, okay, well, if we're taking that PC away, I'm putting the good graphics card back in my editing rig. The 3070 has a beefier cooler on it though, so it doesn't fit in the rig that I had the 3080 in before. So it's like, I tried to downgrade it, but I can't because the less powerful card doesn't fit because it's too beefy. And that's just a weird thing to me.
So the other side of that dono that came in for the card is that now I owe Ravi something.
An uwu?
2 of them.
Give him an uwu. Give him the uwus.
Since it's 2 of them, Ravi. Oh. There, you get them. So you get them chained together.
So good.
God damn it! Please don't tell me that I just came. It's terrible It's terrible that I know exactly where that is from.
I spent an inordinate amount of time defending that as high art in a video recently.
When you pull it, the skin comes off.
Yes.
What are we even talking about?
I don't even know what my buttons do anymore. I just push the random ones, and sometimes it works out.
Please don't tell me that I just came.
Like that one. Okay.
Pernia has just sent me the greatest meme of all time that I have seen. Now. I could send it to you, but you'll have no idea what it even means.
As long as it's safe to show on the stream, just send it to me.
It's safe to show on the stream, and I can explain it if you want me to.
I don't know that I want you to. Just send it.
Sure. Throw this up on screen and see who responds. I guarantee you people will know exactly what this means.
Oh, I don't know what this is. Okay. Actually, so I don't know the details, but I've seen enough that I kind of almost get it.
Okay, so context for stream, or you can throw it up to stream.
I am putting it up on the stream. Just a second.
Okay.
So there it is.
Please do not cheer for a child being murdered from one flashback scene. So,
I know that's a Sonic thing.
Yeah, in Sonic Adventure 2, when
Shadow Sonic guy is holding some kid's hand.
Yes, and the kid is his best friend, basically. So that kid has AIDS, and Shadow was literally created in order to try to save that kid's life, make an immortal life form, use its DNA to help the kid that's dying of AIDS not be dying. Like that's his story. That's how Shadow came to be in the Sonic universe. So
I don't remember what this is in reference to, but Mirilana says silly Rhino Buc-ee's taking it outside of the harbor.
So
sure.
The side effect, though, of making an immortal life form in a science lab is that the United States military said that was a bad thing to do, and they raided the science lab and killed everybody in the lab, including the child in front of Shadow. And it starts as he starts out as a villain in the series because that's the last thing he sees before he's put under for 50 years. Okay. And then he comes back and he's like, no, you fucking killed my best friend. All of you are going to burn. That's the beginning of his story. So,
I mean, that makes sense.
Shadow is also the
most
popular... You
kill my best friend, I'm not going to be happy with you.
Shadow is also the most popular character in the Sonic series. And for the longest time, when Sonic Movie 2 ended, we saw Shadow revealed as the thing they do in Marvel movies all the time, where they're like, here's technically a trailer for the next movie at the end of our movie. It's just an advertisement. That's the trick all the time. End of credit scenes are all advertisements. Yeah. So we saw Shadow, and we knew, okay, cool, we're going to get Shadow. How close to the video game story are we going to get in the movie? And if we're getting close enough, are we going to watch this kid get shot by the U.S. military on screen? And somehow that evolved into, oh my fucking God, I can't wait to watch this kid get shot on screen.
Dark Falcon says, so you're saying all of the arcs built thus far can't actually sail properly? That is correct. And I'm dropping that right in the middle of a kid being killed for Sonic.
And she got killed on the arc. That is the name of the space station she died on, the Space Colony Arc.
There we go.
PJ Blazer says that's horrible. It's horrible, but on Twitter, there's a constant stream right now of people who work at movie theaters going, please, for God's sake, Sonic community, act normal and don't cheer loudly when the child gets shot. We know the child is going to get shot. Please don't cheer. Please act like normal people.
Yeah. No, Sonic people can't act like normal people because they're Sonic people.
I played the H-Bomber Guy serious lore analysis of Sonic on stream the other day.
Oh, that's one of his old ones.
It's a very old one. Yes.
Love H-Bomber Guy. He's so good.
He's a content creator that I I want to emulate more so than I
Just-
have in the past.
Just gonna say, I would suck that dick.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You would peel the smegma off?
Absolutely.
All right.
I
Fair
would
enough.
savor the smegma.
You'd savor the smegma?
God damn it. Why do you make me say these things, Cyrus?
I didn't make you say anything. This is a... Where did you learn to gaslight people like that?
Well, you know what? If it wasn't for Piers Anthony, I wouldn't even know what smegma was. So thank you, Piers Anthony, for being a misogynistic piece of shit who
Jesus
taught me about
Christ.
smegma through his erotic book that was supposed to be erotic, but was actually just weird.
Mirlana says saying please act normal to the Sonic community is like telling the tide not to come on. It's made even worse by the fact that Shadow Generations is out, and we do get to see Maria get not quite shot. They do the thing where they like cut away and have the gunshot sound, but it's as close as we can get to that, and that's in the game that just came out now. It's like, oh, okay, they're just gonna do it. They're just gonna fucking do it.
So Katini says drunk Rhino is dirty. I mean, sober Rhino is dirty too. Drunk Rhino just doesn't care if you think I'm dirty.
Starm says, I'm really hoping for the Bio Lizard. I want Blizzy in the movie. I want to see movie Blizzy.
Oh, what are you sending me as an image now? What is that relevant to? It's just your monitors. Is that you? Are you okay? Cirrus, I just lost Cirrus. Oh. All his monitors are off. That's what's happening. Okay. So it's just me now. Hi. I'm too drunk to do this on my own. Cirrus, come back! Okay, well. Someone just redeemed a hydrate. I don't need a hydrate, I need fucking bread to absorb some of that wine. I know that's not actually how it works, but like, fuck off. Infinite rhinos. Okay, well, Cirrus will either come back or he won't. We'll see.